Hi, it's James Harrison here to talk about the next Daily Drumming Influences Revisited. These were originally posted in 2012. Today is Jim Riley. Now, Jim Riley is probably best known as a drummer for Rascal Flatts. He's also an educator. He was a contributing writer for Modern Drummer. He's got several books out, and I believe there's just now a reunion tour with Rascal Flatts, and Jim's back doing that. So I first became aware of Jim Riley through Rascal Flatts. I think I'd heard the name before. Maybe he was touring with Mark Chestnut or something like that. And I had a friend, Wesley Pryor, who had played with Mark Chestnut as well. And then I have a drumming friend that I went to college with named Preston Stanfield that helped put the guys for Rascal Flatts in touch with each other. Anyway, Jim Riley became the drummer for these guys. And Rascal Flatts had an edge to him at the time and a sound that was a good blend of it had the country element to it, but it had a lot of rock and it had a lot of pop drive to it. So I was a fan. And I actually contacted Jim Riley to come to the Day of Percussion in Idaho, which he did. He did a great job. And he had been out there for another thing too, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Jim was, I believe he was a musical director for Rascal Flatts as well. His musical knowledge is very great. He's not just a drummer. So he came into the Day of Percussion. I came out to the club, sat in with the band I was playing with. I actually owned one of his signature snares by Ludwig. And anyway, Jim did a little bit of everything. He did some marching percussion. I think it was a solo he had written. He did, of course, his clinic where he played along with some tracks and also answered a lot of questions and whatnot. And just a great presentation overall. I had some handouts, did some private lessons with some of the students, hung out for a weekend. I think, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, he even went over to the jazz choir and talked to them about understanding a little bit of music theory. And he has a book out about the Nashville number system. Might be one of the best ones out there to explaining what that book is. And the Nashville number system makes a ton of sense if you understand it. With a lot of the basic country, it was very simplistic, but the modern country extends beyond the 1-4-5 quite a bit. And so you have to kind of know the little embellishments of it, but Jim's book is great at explaining that. He did another book that is just full of demonstrations of songs and grooves for you to play along with. I highly recommend that for any student because I feel that as much as you practice or read something out of a book, until you play it with either a recording where there aren't drums there, I mean, you can do it initially, but eventually you have to kind of try to do that. And then after you get to that point, I believe you got to take it to the next level and play it with live musicians where something is not anchored and you're the anchor. So anyway, Survival Guide for the Modern Drummer, I believe the name of that one. And it seems like he did another one too, but I'm drawing a blank on that right now. So anyway, he teaches at Berklee. He's got several things he's put out on his website. His drum dojo. I got to visit him at he's in a new location now, but his first location, I got to visit them, check that out, and everything. And Jim's one of those guys that the best way I can describe it is took the bulls by the horns to get where he is, but at the same time didn't rest on those laurels and was able, sorry, the wind is blowing on the blinds that are behind me because the window's open, was able to build a successful career, but also a conducive lifestyle to that by, a lot of times people, they kind of make it to a certain level and they blow all the money, and Jim's been very good about being frugal to a point, but at the same time building a life. So definitely somebody that you could model. And in words of Tony Robbins, if you want to be successful, find somebody who's successful and try to do what they did. Jim would be a good pattern for that. So, and then not to mention his playing. So, nice guy. Haven't crossed paths with him in quite a while, but anyway, originally in this date in 2012, he was the drumming influence for the day, and I've had great positive experiences with him. So as I'm repeating these on video now, the drumming influence for the day, Jim Briley, again of Rascal Flatts.